know, it's weird. It's not like Facebook, and it's not a dig at YouTube. I love YouTube. I think YouTube's amazing. I did a live, and then I'm like, okay. I went to the channel, and I couldn't see it. Then I thought, well, surely my lives can be saved so that people that don't, that aren't on a device or aren't on an iPad, don't get a notification, they can go back. Like, I look at YouTube as an online library. Essentially, they should be able to go back and view the information or the content that's provided. So that's weird. I'm going to try again. If it doesn't work, don't know. Don't know. Don't know. But yeah, welcome to the live. I'm going to try to do these. I like to do my vlogs when I can, and I put a post up on my Facebook page recently, and it was just about really acknowledging the men, the women, the boys, the girls, all the content creators out there that are sharing their passion, wanting to achieve what they're trying to achieve. And many of them are so time poor, they have so many commitments, and I think we do really need to acknowledge the amazing job they're doing to provide that content. Like, I'd love to be able to be 100% full-time creating my content personally, pushing my messages across, trying to get more women, men, boys and girls actively involved through fishing. Because I think fishing, for me personally, it's such a valuable resource and tool that we have at our disposal. Like, we essentially, WA, we're an island. We are surrounded by water. And I usually say to people, just fish it. Like, we've got so many opportunities. So I think fishing, for me, it's just such a great resource and tool. And it's also, you can be used to break down those barriers, as we get talking about those difficult conversations, mental health, so I think it's tricky, but with fishing, I find you could just be with a complete random stranger, whether you're on a boat, whether you're sitting on a rock wall, whether you're standing on a beach with the sand on your feet, and you don't really need to get too deep to start, but just knowing that someone's next to you or around you, it just sort of, you just feel that release, and it's just like, you just feel safer, more comfortable, more secure, and then, over time, you can start diving in deeper and have those conversations. But originally, my first live actually was to to go on about the snapper, because we are in WA, Perth, and this time of year, the whole talk in town is snapper. And personally, for me, I actually like to target snapper before and after a storm. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't generally get to go and catch a lot of big fish these days. And I'm so comfortable with that, and I really don't care what people think. It's so funny, the judgment that's placed on any person that in any niche, in any, whatever their passion is. If you're not holding a 1 meter mulloway or an 85 or 90 centimeter snapper, you're a shit angler. You just can't catch fish, or you only just catch herring, or you only catch sand whiting, or all I ever see you catch is tailor. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I honestly, 100%, if I had a gun to my head, I don't care. Do I want to catch big fish more often? Yeah, of course, absolutely. But I think once you're comfortable with knowing what you can personally achieve, and it doesn't really matter all the shit that's said. Like, it just generally does not matter all the shit that is said. Like, just let them have it. Let them be so upset with their own lives, and just you can be their punching bag, so to speak. Hey, going? Hello. I'm not really good at these lives. I do them on Facebook a lot. I'm sorry to keep going back through to Facebook. Facebook's where hey, going there, Melissa. Facebook's generally where I do all my content, but I am going to get back onto YouTube because I sort of don't want to disadvantage the people that don't like Facebook. So, and I obviously know that these platforms, they want the creators to get their followers, their subscribers on their platform. So I'm well aware. I've been in the game long enough. I understand that Facebook and YouTube are, they're competitors. So I just thought, look, I'll try a live. I tried a live before, and I don't know what happened to it. So hopefully, I don't know, did the live save? Like, does anyone on here know, will this save after I finish it? Because I did a live just before, and it didn't save. And I was just thinking out loud, like, surely it can be kept as an online library for people, that want to view it later, or because it's shit. The weather's shit here. Like, let's be honest, I'm in Perth. The weather is absolutely rubbish. And like I said, the talk in town is all about the snapper. And for me personally, I like to target these fish, before or after the storm. And there's so many factors why. And I just wanted to give my sort of interpretation of my own personal experience. Believe me, hey, I am not a pro by any means. I can tell you that right now. But what I've found over the years, obviously the key is time. 100. That is the number one thing with whatever you want to target land-based. The key is time. If you've got the more, it's just law of averages. Well, you think about it. Like if you've got 7 days a week, how you going? Hey Ash, if you've got 7 days a week and you can only fish one day that week, that's all your eggs in one basket. Like you're literally putting all that pressure to go get a feed, a trophy fish, whatever you're after, that one session. And, you're governed by the local conditions. You've got wind, you've got swell. How am I? I'm warmer now. I want to fish, but I've been a little bit soft, as some would say, and I haven't actually headed out today. So I just want to talk fishing. I want to give my thoughts. So I don't do lives on here very often, but I'm enjoying the lives. Hopefully I can do more of these. As I said, I do have my Facebook stuff. Feel free to go check that out as well. But as I was saying, I'm not really keen to get out in this weather, but you can catch plenty of quality mulloway snapper, larger tailor, and all your bread and butter literally only a few days after this weather. So I don't know if any of you have jumped on, even just like if you look at Type Up, for example, Sea Breeze in the area you want to fish. How you going? Hi. And you'll see absolutely a massive drop in the swell and wind literally after tomorrow. Hi. Cool. Am I gay? I'm not gay, but if you are, that is all good. I'm loving these comments. They're quite entertaining. So if you don't like it, bro, jump off. All good. So as I said, tomorrow we've still got a little bit of swell, a little bit of wind. We had no wind this morning. It was quite nice. So we're going to see Monday through to Thursday, that wind, that swell is going to drop off. The water's still going to be very dirty, which is really good for mulloway and snapper. They'll stay enclosed. They'll hunt the fish, the bait, and the bait will come back through, sort of Monday, Tuesday, a couple of days after this weather. That bait's going to come back through. And that's generally when I like to go and hunt more reef and, groins, rock walls, not so much your open beaches. And again, as previously mentioned, the open beaches, they're just going to be too hard. They're going to be quite weeded out. They're going to be, you got to think, why would the bait come back to an open beach with all that disturbance? They're going to be hugging those rock walls, the groins, the reefs, the caves. And generally that's where I like to, put a lot of my energy around those sort of areas with that fixed structure, that reef. So as I said, it's only usually 1 to 2 days and that bait will start coming back in. Those larger fish will be hunting. And even for the droning crew, if that weed starts to, thin out and be less prevalent, you can even drone after the weather, the fronts, the storms, the wind, the swell, and you'll get really ravenous. The snapper, they go into a frenzy, and it's very, it's very common. If you've got a crew droning, you could easily get, 1 or 2 really healthy, fine snapper this time of year. So that, again, don't discount fishing in the storms. If you love that, if it's what really gets your socks off, go for it. Go and sit and stand in the wind and swell. As I said, I always say hats off to the men and women that want to brace, the conditions. Obviously you get those quality fish in the storms, absolutely. But you can also just wait a couple of days and those fish are still going to be, off those, inner reefs. They're going to be coming through the local reef systems as well. They're going to be cruising the rock walls and grinds, and you can put a lot of time into fishing after a storm to get these quality fish. So hopefully, Monday, Tuesday, I'll start looking around, seeing what the, structure's like around the reefy areas. I don't think I'd fish the open beaches, but coming to next weekend, I think you probably could definitely start fishing the beaches again, like a typical beach, for example, Floriat, Cottesloe, even up north, Eden Beach, Alkimos. Obviously, having that week where the swell and wind's going to be less, just going to allow a lot of bait to then start coming back through. And then obviously we find the bait, you find the larger fish. So that's what I tried to do on the live before. I'm not too sure what happened there. I don't know. I'm not very good with YouTube. I'm trying to do a little bit more on YouTube to give people that don't, have Facebook or don't like Facebook the option to view what I do. And hopefully, if you like it, I said hopefully I can. I don't know how you can say this. I'm totally unsure. So anyone in the comments, let me know how I can save this live. I think you can share the link, but I'm not too sure actually how you can do the live. so to speak. So I'll have a look. But as I said, I'll try to do these once a week for now, see how they go. I haven't got a physical action camera currently. My GoPro is ancient like me, so it's redundant. It's not going to do the job. So I'd like to get another camera in the near future. And for me personally, I don't think I'll do too much like sort of action filming, more just like rigs and education and what I'm looking for when I'm going down. Say, for example, I'm going to an open beach. Why did I go to an open beach? And that's another whole talking point is, a lot of people on fishing pages purely, they just want, where did you catch that fish, location. And again, gun to the head, location is like such, for me, it's such a small part of the puzzle. Like it's yeah, certain places will fish better on a morning high tide. Certain places, Metro, will fish really good on a mid-morning high tide. Throwing larger garfish around. Trig, for example, so at 11, 12 o'clock high tide, you get some really big tailor that will come through as that water pushes up. Other spots will only fish really well with an afternoon sea breeze. The tailor, the herring, whatever's around, they'll feed really actively sort of that 1 to 2 hours before sunset. Then there's other places in Perth that fish extremely well after sunset with a 9 or 10 o'clock high tide. So I guess location is it is a part of it, but you have to, for me personally, it's more knowing when to go, that like seasonal, what time of year to go out and target the intended species. And for WA, anyone that's in Perth, WA especially, we're so lucky. We can catch tailor all year round, which, tailor's one of my favourite fish. One of my first fish I caught as a real young lad with my dad off the rocks, and we used to do rocks and groins a lot, throwing metals, slices, unweighted muleys, or a little ball sinker and casting, retrieving. So I used to love, that anticipation of casting that bait, and then just that fish is bang, just hitting the lure of bait. So I have a special, tailor lures have a special place within me. I still love targeting. I love seeing my kids get into them now. It's amazing watching them on 6-8 pound braid, little 2.5, 3,000 size reels, and these fish, look, they're not monster fish, but just fishing light and letting the kids actually feel the fight. It's so much fun. So there's lots to look forward to. As I said, I just cannot be bothered getting out and having a fish. I will probably go look at the rock walls and just see how that swell is coming through. The wind this morning was literally nothing. It was really is nothing. It was almost glassed off. I know I said up and down the coast, obviously the wind did ramp up, but that's what it's about. If you can go out, have a crack, go for it. There's plenty of YouTube. There's plenty of tackle. You get your leaders redone. Make sure your lure trays are all sorted. Make sure you're all geared up for that next session. You can go out there, give it a red hot crack. So I'm going to try now and see how, bear with me, how I finish this off. I don't know what this, I'm just going to push brown and button. So let's see what happens here. What does this one do? No, that's that one. What's this one do? Starts a poll. No, I don't want to start a poll. That flips the phone. I'm just trying all these things because I've never done a live on here. And then what's that do? That goes, that copy link. I don't really want to copy link. So then you just exit, do you? You must just exit. I don't know. I might just exit. What's this cat doing? You coming up? Oh, no. You want to come up. Come on. Come and say like, oh, I never used to be a cat person. It's, we had a cat before. We got 2 brothers and sisters now. But I must say, I don't mind the cats. I love my dog. I've always loved dogs. But these Burmese, they're quite. This guy is chilled as the cats go. This one is super chill. But as I said, if you have watched this, so appreciative. I am going to do more vlogging. It's just time. And as I think I've said before, I do talk a lot, as many of you may know. But the men, women, boys and girls, the content creators out there, really give them the credit where credit's due. I'm not asking for any credit personally, but just the ones that go out week in, week out, provide that content. They've got families, they've got kids, they've got full-time jobs, and they've just grinding it out, hustling, just getting that content out. You've got to really give them that credit. Like it's not easy at all, and you have to definitely have the passion in the niche that you want to provide that content. Otherwise, it's never going to work. And for me personally, I just want to get more kids, mainly kids, and obviously adults as well, into fishing. So WA, we're an island. We're surrounded by water, plenty of options to fish. And again, like I've mentioned, use fishing as that sort of tool to break those barriers, especially with mental health. I mean, for me personally, if I didn't have fishing, or my beautiful partner and my kids, it would be a bloody. Life's hard. Life is bloody hard. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. I know, but fishing for me, it's just helped in more ways than I guess. People that don't fish, and again, there's no judgment if you don't fish, obviously, but people that don't fish, they wouldn't understand the power being on that ocean has. Absolutely incredible. It's just, for me, it's grounded me, it's reset me, it's refreshed me, made me become a better husband, better father, I hope. And I just really want to get more people out in, especially WA, Perth in particular, in the community, just out there fishing, having a crack. I mean, if I can get out there and have a crack and find some fish occasionally, there's no reason that you can't catch what I'm catching, or even more. Like, if I can do it, it's surely anyone out there can do it, because I'm literally just an old dad that loves fishing. I'm blessed to always be, I've grown up on the water. I've had creeks, I've had oceans, I've had so many places to fish my whole life. So, I'm very, very thankful to my parents always living around water. And I guess being a Pisces, I think that sort of connects. Both of them correlate and they sort of go hand in hand. But I've just been so blessed as a young kid to be able to fish, when I want, where I want, because I've always had water, always had the ocean or a creek, somewhere to fish. And I guess I'm trying to give that to my children as well. So as I said, if you have watched this, super, super appreciative. I'd rather do lives than vlogs, to be honest. I mean, I know no one's watching. That's all good. I'm just sitting here with a cat chilling out, talking shit. But, I love fishing. And as I said, if I can even inspire one person or change one person's perspective, for me, I reckon that's a win. I honestly reckon that's a win. So, as I said, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. I don't know what these buttons are on my screen. I don't know how to do the lives. I know how to do them on Facebook, but I'll keep working at it because I enjoy it. And I hope your weekends are going well. What are you listening to? And we're going to go and look at some water. All right, let's see how we go. See if I can get this done properly. Cheers.